This is 5 on Your Side at 6. Focused on you.
Tonight, a grieving grandmother says the criminal justice system failed. She's furious at the 10-year prison sentence given to the man who murdered her son and her 7-year-old granddaughter. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush, and Allred has the night off. Javon Nettles pleaded guilty this week to second-degree murder in the deaths of Demaya Fleming and her father, Darian Rankin Fleming. 5 on Your Side's Diamond Palmer has more from the family and the St. Louis Circuit Attorney.
One day after Javon Nettles pled guilty to the January 2021 Central West End double homicide, St. Louis Circuit Attorney Gabe Gore addressed the victim's family.
I, recognize their grief. I recognize this is an unimaginable situation for a family to find itself in.
Suketha Rankin disagrees. She's continuing to grieve the loss of her son, Darian Rankin Fleming, and her granddaughter, Demaya Fleming. The two were killed in a parked car on Laclede Avenue. Suketha Rankin says the pain of losing her son and her granddaughter is unbearable, and justice to her looks like more than 10 years.
You just letting murderers go. That's why people kill every single day, all day. But let somebody get caught with some drugs, they getting 10 and 20 years, but you could kill a 7-year-old and just go. It was a joke. It was a joke. The justice system is a joke.
Former St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner's administration had to refile first-degree murder charges twice, saying it wasn't ready to proceed. This week, Gore offered Nettles a plea deal for second-degree murder with a 10-year sentence. Missouri's law requires defendants to serve at least 85% of their sentence. That means with credit for time served, Nettles could be eligible for parole in 6.5 years.
We don't believe that the outcome of a 10-year sentence is perfect. It's certainly not perfect justice. It was, in this case, the best outcome we felt we could obtain.
I pushed Gore to tell me if there was enough evidence for the case.
In this particular case, looking at the evidence and the risk at trial, our conclusion was that this result represented the best outcome we could obtain.
But Rankin says it's not over.
I will fight for them. That's my job. Like I told her, your job is to fight for them. They're not here. That's your job. That's your job.
Diamond Palmer, 5 on Your Side.
Now, there is a second suspect in the case. The victim's family says they will continue to seek justice by pushing for him to get a stronger sentence. A St. Louis County police officer accused of firing shots in the air during a trunk or treat in Kirkwood pleaded not guilty to all charges this morning. Matthew McCullough is charged with 11 felonies. According to court documents, McCullough threatened to kill a woman and others at Sunday's event for Tillman Elementary students at North Kirkwood Middle School. Right now, he's on unpaid administrative leave from the police department pending an internal investigation. Tonight, the St. Louis County Council will reconsider a plan to freeze some people's property taxes. It comes at a time when the county is facing budget problems. 5 on Your Side's political editor, Mark Maxwell, is live in Clayton with new details about the proposal. Mark?
Mike, it's deja vu all over again. The last time this senior property tax freeze came up, it failed over concerns it might grant unnecessary relief to millionaires. So this new plan sets a property value cap to prevent that from happening as a new plan to raise everyone's property taxes starts to emerge.
The St. Louis County Council has a math problem on its hands.
We've had a mismatch between revenues and spending going back 15 years.
Facing a $25 million budget hole, the county's budget director says time is running out to fix it before something breaks.
We've got about 2 to 3 years of operations until something has to change. Either we've got to identify additional revenue.
In a 90-minute presentation, Paul Kreidler laid out tax hikes and cuts that still leave a big deficit.
And the county executive's budget recommends the elimination of the shot spotter.
In short, stuff is just more expensive these days.
When we're buying goods, if the costs are higher, then that's going to increase our costs.
And homeowners could wind up footing the bill.
You know, property taxes, everybody hates them. I don't know of anybody that likes property taxes. They're kind of a necessary evil.
We caught up with one taxpayer from St. Anne who said he'd support the plan to freeze property tax hikes on most seniors.
I would definitely be in favor of that.
Why?
I mean, I know a lot of seniors that are stuck on fixed income. They're retired. They've only make so much, And with all the inflation that's going on, it's getting hard enough for them to live as it is.
Out of 350,000 homes across St. Louis County, the county assessor's office says nearly 9 in 10 are worth less than $550,000 and would qualify for that tax freeze if the homeowner is 67 or over. But for everyone else,
just affording housing at this moment is very hard for anybody, really. A lot of people are moving back in with their parents because of how hard everything is.
the pressure of inflation weighs on their personal budget, too.
It is already hard for everyone out here. I know so many people that are struggling to keep up with the rising prices of everything, gas, rent, everything.
That's the cruel compounding effect of inflation you're hearing her describe. You might say heads, the government wins, tails, you lose. At first, when things get more expensive, government takes in more in those sales taxes, and then when that sales tax sugar high wears off, the government has to start paying more to buy those very same goods, and they have to look somewhere to balance all of that. By the way, just if you're doing the math at home, the proposed property tax hike that would apply to everyone, County Executive Sam Page's office says that would cost about $22 more a year on average. They're considering that tax freeze for seniors still tonight. Live in Clayton, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
Well, this week, crews should finally finish cleaning up rotting seafood from a former supermarket in University City. Not only did this stinky mess bring a terrible odor for months, it also led to a legal battle. 5 on your side's Mercedes McKay spoke with neighbors who are still sick and tired of dealing with the smell.
There was a lot of activity outside of Seafood City Supermarket Tuesday morning. But it wasn't because of a booming business.
What the heck is wrong with you? Did your parents never teach you common sense on how to clean up after yourself before you leave somewhere?
For weeks now, lingering smells and flies have plagued the former supermarket and homes nearby.
I thought it was a dead body almost. I was about to call the cops.
The supermarket was ordered to close in late March after the health department said products were improperly stored. For the past month, this has been the picture outside the closed shop. People in hazmat suits throwing out the rotten food. After neighbors complained about a foul odor and an infestation of flies.
I went up to the bus stop one time and I was just standing there and then I smelled something. I was like, what the hell is that smell?
You can still see crews cleaning up all that spoiled seafood and produce that left a stench in this area. Some neighbors I spoke to told me that they couldn't even eat because gnats were all over their fridge. They also said gnats were in the bathroom, and many said the fruit flies lasted for a whole month.
You come out here when it's windy, blowing all on your plate. I'm like, oh my God, I am so done with smelling that. That is so bad.
While food still fills the ground in front of the market and in shopping carts.
Why the heck y'all leave that in there for? My mom would kick but if I ever did anything like that.
Neighbors are ready for the stench to be gone.
I'll be glad to not smell that ever again, because that is nasty.
In University City, Mercedes McKay, 5 on your side.
The building owner, Six Fortune LLC, is suing the owner of Seafood City for more than $300,000 in back rent. The trial date is set for this coming Monday in St. Louis County. Some sad news to pass along. Rani, the Asian elephant at the St. Louis Zoo, has died. Zookeepers aren't sure how she died, but early tests reveal she may have had a heart problem. On Friday, zookeepers say a small dog was seen running near the elephant barn, causing one of the elephants to become agitated. Rani was She was in her room having dinner at the time. Though she never saw the dog, zookeepers say Rani became upset over the commotion outside. They saw her circle, then make a sound and collapse. Animal health teams tried to revive her, but it was too late. Rani was 27 years old and the mother of 3.